how do I find the area of a circle when I know the circumference is 20 meters?
Oh, okay. I can definitely answer that.
Math.
That's actually that's a two-part question. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said the circumference was 20 meters?
20 meters.
Okay, so whenever we, and we have to find the area.
The area of the circle, given
Perfect.
that the circumference is 20 meters.
All right, so two parts to this. If we know that the circumference is 20 meters, we're going to have to use that information to pull some more information. So one thing that we know about circles is that to find the area, we're going to do, the formula is pi times the radius squared. Now, by being given the circumference, well, that's not the radius. And so we can't really, from that information, just go directly to find the area. Let me back up and explain a little bit about what the circumference and area is and what the difference is. The circumference of a circle is the distance around the circle. So you kind of see me moving my pen as best as I can around that circle. So it's really a measurement of how long it is to go around that. So basically, if you were to lay a string down on top of that circle and then take it out and measure it, that would be what your circumference is. The way that you find the circumference of a circle is by the formula 2 times pi times radius. And that would be the formula to find it. The area is talking about, and I'm going to kind of shade, it's talking about the amount of space that is on the inside of the circle. So they're measuring two different things. So first, we have to use this formula for circumference to be able to find out what the radius is. So what I'm going to do is say instead of c equals 2 times pi times r, I'm going to say 20 equals 2 times pi times r. And basically what I've done is I've written an algebraic equation that if I can get or isolate r or get that by itself, then I know what the radius is. And if you look back up to my formula for the area of a circle, that's exactly the piece that we need to know in order to find the area. So what I'll do to get this r or radius by itself in the equation is I'm going to divide both sides of my equation by 2 pi. And then what ends up happening is that left side of the equation will end up simplifying to 10 over pi. So really what I'm doing, I'm dividing my numerator and denominator by 2 in order to simplify that. And so then what that's saying is that my radius is 10 divided by pi. So what then I can do, since that's the piece that I needed to find the area, and on the right-hand side, I'm going to go ahead and basically plug in that 10 over pi for my radius. So pi, and then instead of radius, I'm going to write 10 over pi, and then I'm squaring it. So then simplifying that, I end up getting 100 pi on my numerator, and then pi squared on the denominator. So all I did from step 1 to step 2 is I squared the fraction, the 10 over pi, and then I put it together with the other pi, or I multiplied it with the other pi. Then simplifying last step, what I can do is I can get rid of or simplify one of my pi's from numerator and denominator. So I end up with 100 divided by pi. Now they didn't give, I guess they said that it was 20 meters. They said that the circumference was 20 meters. So what that means for my radius is that, or sorry, for my area, is that it's 100 divided by pi meters squared. Now, one thing you do want to ask your teacher is if she likes her answer, she or he, I shouldn't have said just she, but if they like their answer in terms of pi or if they like their answer just in numbers. So if we were using our answer in terms of pi, we could just leave it this way. If we were using it in terms of numbers, you would want to take 100 and actually divide it by pi to find the actual number of what that equals. So yeah, ask your teacher how they prefer their answer. I prefer it in terms of pi just because that's more accurate. It's not, you're not rounding your answer. It's not an approximation. It's exactly the answer. So I like my answer like that. But you know, you want to ask your teacher. But either way, that's how you find the area when you know the circumference.